Okay. So welcome, everybody. I am here with Marianne Niehaus out of Longmont. How are you doing, Marianne?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on today,
I
Mary.
am so glad you were able to come with us. I think as people are first getting started in their longevity business, it can be such a kind of an overwhelming experience of learning what all the rules are. And of course, the same can be true with any company, but um, if you've never built a business and you've never built a business on social media, then each of those opens up a can of worms as far as questions and things that you may or may not be able to do. And so I guess the first thing I've recommended is that everybody actually read the policies and procedures, because there is a policy sheet that talks about social media. But a lot of times you open up those policy sheets, and something's in writing, you can always find different interpretations. So that's why I thought, you know what, we're going to ask you as well and get clarification from a live person. And I wonder if you'd mind just kind of giving us a kind of an overview of what you could do on websites, and then maybe move into like Facebook and other social media, and what the do's and don'ts are when you're promoting longevity as an independent.
Yeah, I think, really, if you think of it around the arena of not representing yourself as though you are Youngevity, and, using the logo and talking as though you are representing Youngevity versus representing yourself as the distributor of Youngevity. So the language, has to be really careful around you representing yourself as a distributor. And, it just makes, for instance, it makes sense not to be using their logo in a way that, again, makes you look like you're officially a Youngevity extension in the representation of part of the corporate office. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you are not hired by Youngevity. You are not Youngevity staff. You're not speaking on behalf of Youngevity. Correct?
Right. And even our titles, they have changed over the years because of that. We used to be vice president of marketing, right? And so we had to eliminate that. So that's why we're 1 stars and 2 stars and 3 stars, because people that might misrepresent who we are within Youngevity if people thought we were vice presidents of marketing. So so just have that, mindset of, I'm not Youngevity, I'm me, and that's how I will represent myself. So, I know you understand this, and you have your own identity. I have my own identity. I am a Youngevity distributor, and you can say that as long as it doesn't appear that you're part of corporate in any way. And on social media, I think that a lot of people were whipping up, Youngevity and throwing up the Youngevity logo and using that as their identity versus their own face. And people were doing searches for Youngevity, and all these, Youngevities are coming up, but they're not really Youngevity. They're other distributors. And so people were joining websites and participating in that as though they thought that was all official of what was being represented. So you can't do that. I say have your own picture or have your own logo, but don't use Youngevity's logo in that representation. If you are sharing a product, anything off of the Youngevity page, that's official language. So if they're talking about a product or a service or something, and you share that on your page, that's one thing. But when you're posting your own information, I would look at what Youngevity is saying and use that as a representation of how your language should be on your website. So we can't say anything about curing, right? You can't say that on your website or Facebook or what have you. You can say things like, it reduced my symptoms around, my feet swelling. Even saying things around diseases gets a little bit, wishy-washy there. So you could say that it reduced my symptoms of symptoms I was having with my diabetes, right? But you couldn't say it cured my diabetes.
Okay.
Only the FDA can say cure,
Okay.
which they don't, right?
So pain, it relieved my pain, but you can't say it relieved my arthritis, because
Right.
arthritis is a disease, pain is a symptom.
Right. Right. So you could say, yeah, like it reduced my symptoms of, around the pain I was having. And, it's because we can, as a person, you can say things that you couldn't say as a company even. So when you're saying your testimonial, right, again, you couldn't say that it cured, but you could say, I had symptoms that were represented as fibromyalgia, and those symptoms have been reduced, right?
Okay.
Inflammation or, the relief of pain, these things have been reduced.
So I could say that I suffer from fibromyalgia, and since I've been using Youngevity products, I see less pain and I have more focus.
Right. I sleep better.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just grabbing examples out of thin air.
Right. And that's what I'm just saying. You can say what it is you've been experiencing and how that has helped you.
Okay.
So, I had a gentleman, I got a great testimonial today from a gentleman, and I didn't really solicit it, but he's one of my distributors, and he kind of went off the product for a while, and he came back, and then this was his testimony to me. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick, because I just sent this email with it in there. And he said, let's see here. For the last couple of weeks, I've been taking the product again. The results have been nothing short of miraculous. With the same amount of exercise, muscle tone is better, skin tone is better, physical endurance is better, pain in joints and back is now a rare event. It works.
Okay.
So he didn't say he has arthritis or, any of that kind of stuff, but he just is, things are better. So.
Okay. Years ago, before I was looking at any of this kind of industry, I remember working with a gentleman who was interested in a patent I held. And I was being very cautious about claims that I made because there were a lot of variables we hadn't tested yet. And he was getting frustrated because he wanted stuff he could take to his investors and say, this does A, B, and C.
Right.
And I remember he pulled me aside one day and he says, I've worked with a lot of companies and I've testified in many cases. He says, and the fact is, he says, I understand being careful about making claims, but your beliefs are your beliefs. Mm-hmm. And so what we want to know is, do you believe this technology will do A, B, and C?
Right.
And I just wonder, I'm thinking you could probably transpose that here, that you can pretty much say, whatever you believe, if you open it with that statement, I believe A, B, and C, or I understand this to mean A, B, and C.
Or for me, here's what I've experienced. So yeah, no, you're right, because that's your opinion. That's your belief. You know, and just stay away from the word cure, really,
Okay.
which is ridiculous, but is this going to be recorded? No.
Yeah, you're on air.
Yeah. So what I would do, and this is what I said, is Youngevity is a good example. Just use how they describe it. You know what I mean? Because they're in compliance. So if you wanted to put something about the tangy tangerine out there 2.0, I would go to the website and get the description of how they describe it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that is, here's an example of what this product can or can't do. I mean, you know, because again, we just have to pay attention. But people who are out there who are blatantly just trying to look like Youngevity when they're not, and the company has, they've really gone after those people and nicely asked them, take Youngevity out of your name, take Youngevity out of the website. You can't look like you are Youngevity.
Okay. Okay. Now I see a lot of people using YGY.
Yes.
Is that wide open?
I think that's acceptable. People that
It's nice to have something that can pull you up on a search.
Right.
When people are trying to find something.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess another point that's probably worth making here is the angle of, does it even do you any good to put yourself out there as Youngevity? Everything I understand about this industry is that people are going to come to you because of your personality and your outreach and the charisma you're bringing to your business. And so when you call yourself, I am Youngevity, are you actually detracting from your own ability to attract the right customer?
Right. Yeah, and I think that those people that are doing that are, it's just strictly about getting the order or what have you. It's not really about building the relationship. And you're right. What's the difference between this company over here and Youngevity? Me. You get me. You come to Youngevity, you get me, right? You come to Youngevity, you get you. Who wouldn't want to work with, Dr. Mary Lucero? I always say it wrong. Lucero. I'm looking right at it. Lucero. I really have a friend whose name is Lucero, so that's
I had never heard that.
Yeah. So anyway,
don't worry. When I talk to people on the East Coast,
yeah,
I get Mary Lou. They put the first and last name together as one name, which is really sad if you understand Spanish, because that would make my last name Cero, which is zero.
Zero. Yeah.
So call me Mary Lou and you just need me at zero.
Right. But yeah, so that's, oh, there she is.
Yeah, here's Monica. Okay. So
I'm noticing all this stuff I've piled up over here in the background. I think I'm going to do something, put a wall up here or something.
One of our members, Andre Clearwater out of Massachusetts, so I don't know if Glenn's told you, we're doing this 65 and Alive challenge. Got a bunch of people signed up. It's kind of a fitness and better you challenge. So we all have different goals. Some of us are
nice.
Great. Some of us are building our business. Andre has found this book about, I can't think of the name of it right now. Something about the Japanese art of tidying up. And she's going through her whole house and sorting and organizing and throwing out junk. And she sent me a picture. She had shelves of shirts folded up in these neat, organized stacks. And I was like, wow, that's energy. That's energy. But I tend to do more
here is my guest room, and then here's my office. So I'm thinking I might get some tall cabinets that I could just throw stuff into.
Yeah. But anyway. Okay.
All right. Well, good. Hello, Monica. Oh.
Do you have sound?
Sorry, I had to unmute. So
Oh, no worries.
I didn't want to disturb.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So Marianne gave us kind of an overview about websites and social media, and the general guideline is that we need to make sure it's always clear that you are Monica Kikuweba, you are not Youngevity. So you are an independent distributor. So we don't use their logo as though we're Youngevity. We don't, kind of promote ourselves as Youngevity.
A lot of people were putting in their Facebook pages Youngevity, something or other, and then, putting the logo in as their picture. And so people were thinking those were official Youngevity, websites. When they weren't. They were just other distributors. And then they started groups and people were joining and, and so anyway, but, and I was just sharing with Mary as well about, take the language from the Youngevity Facebook page. If you have a concern about, a certain product you want to promo, take it from their Facebook page or take it from your website and what you're going to describe. And then we talked about testimonials, saying, and Mary brought up a great comment about, I believe this product really helped me, with the inflammation that I had, or it gets kind of touchy when you talk about diseases. And so it's, I say that this is really reduced, I have fibromyalgia and this has really reduced my symptoms.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines and everything.
Okay.
So I just got this testimonial from one of my people who was on the products for a long time, and then he went off for a while. And he started back up on them. And he said, for the last couple of weeks, I've been taking the products again. The results have been nothing short of miraculous. With the same amount of exercise, muscle tone is better, skin tone is better, physical endurance is better, pain in joints and back is now a rare event. That's a perfect testimonial, because he doesn't really go into, he has arthritis, all this other thing. So while it's sad that we can't say the word cure, because we do that all the time, but that's the one word to really stay away from. But if you're talking about your person, in my experience, this has happened. I was able to lose weight without, whatever it is. And I was going to say without exercising. I was able to exercising, and I love that. But, so in your own personal experience, or I believe, what I've experienced here. And so really just, you own it as who you are. Do you have specific questions that you were concerned about, or?
No, I mean, I have sold, doTERRA essential oils, and it's basically the same thing. So I was just wondering, I was just kind of seeing if there was any other things that I needed to know about that. But it sounds like the same thing. So
I mean, there's compliance. Yeah. It's really around that. It's just like, the whole business side, they don't want you talking about your income, because, the fact of the matter is, whatever rank I'm at, whatever rank you're at, we still could be making the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Right? If we've built it a certain way.
Right.
And so, obviously, I can say I've been driving a free car, I've been getting a car bonus for, 5 years now, which is crazy. I've enjoyed, several free vacations that I've earned, those kind of things, but not to really just be throwing around income claims.
Right.
It's amazing to me. And tell me, people think, and I've done this myself. When someone's in network marketing, it's okay to ask them how much they make. And yet I would never think of asking Dr. Mary what her salary was if I ran into her and she's working at the FDA. I wouldn't ask you that. That is just not a question that was normally asked. And yet I have people ask me that all the time, and around network marketing. So I, basically I just say, look, I'll tell you what the commissions are, and I'll tell, because we have that matrix. Have you seen that matrix?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I'm going to put that link in here because it's a matrix that's on one of the Masters of Enrollment website, and we're kind of having it a little bit hidden, so that's not just right out there and about what it is, but it's the compensation plan, and it talks about, and I might have shown this the other day.
Maybe, yeah.
I might have, but anyway, you can go to that link. I'll screen share it really quick here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and I think people ask about the salary and network marketing because so many people are trying to wrap their brain around how this works.
Right. Can you see
Yeah.
my screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what I love about this, and again, it's just one of those things where you see it says nothing about income, but it just gives you a concept of, and this is all residual, it's not bonuses and what have you, but it shows you if you have 3 people on a 150 BV auto ship and 8%, like $36, right? And you're like, oh, but if $36 was lying on the floor, you pick it up.
Yeah.
So, and the same thing in the 4x5 and then the 5x5. So it gives you an idea of, okay, if I'm going to do this and I need to make, a certain amount of money, say somebody, needed to make $3,000 a month, then here's what it's, this is a scenario, again, not a perfect scenario, but a scenario. This is what it might look like. You might have 4 people across your top line. You might have 5. I've got way more than 5 people across my top line. Right? So my volume of my income right here, and then again, this other level, and then, you got I got 6,000 people in my downline. So, this just shows at a certain level, and of course you got to be at a certain rank to go down that many levels. But, you can see right here, if you have, just, that's 125 people, you're not going to know all those people because this 25 people have signed up, a lot of these people, right? You're going to know these 5. You're probably going to know these 25, but you're possibly you're not going to know a lot of these 125. So, but does it grow that way? It could, but I mean, I have way more than 5 people. I have way more than 25 people, on my second level, way more than 125 people. So you can see where this is a scenario, but it could be a lot more.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
And the first time you showed me this matrix, Marianne, it took me a minute to snap, and then I thought, oh, that's a nice way to really simplify everything. You're only looking at that volume bonus on this, right?
Right.
So actually a person who's earning this is also going to be getting their at different levels, the car bonus kicks in, or sign up bonuses, or your other
this is
bonuses.
just
So this is a minimal amount. This is one of the 10 ways you get paid.
Right. And if you took this and you made this a 6x5, or 8x5, I mean, you start seeing how much volume you can have in your first 3 levels. Crazy.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I'll stop my screen here.
No, go ahead. I had to answer the door, so.
Oh, okay. Well, the link is there, so if you want to click on that, then you'll have it. You can.
Okay. Thank you.
You can save that. But yeah, you can see. I mean, it's just a different scenario. And that's how I explain it too. This is a scenario, meaning this isn't how everybody's business is, right? Yeah.
Sorry, it's my dog. He's happy somebody's here.
He's like drinking and he's like all upset. What kind of dog is it?
She's a Chiweenie. She's part Chihuahua, part Dachshund. So she's long, but she's got the color hair of a Chihuahua.
Yeah. So we just
blonde.
Can you hold her up?
Yeah.
Hold her up.
I'll get her.
Monroe.
We just had celebrated Cinco de Mayo here. And I wasn't there because I was up at the leadership thing, but I had a group, that did the event. And they said they had like a Chihuahua fashion show or something where they had all the
Wow.
all dressed up.
Can you see
look
her?
at her.
See, she's long.
Yeah.
This is Monroe. Say hi, Monroe.
Hi, Monroe. Monroe.
Yeah.
She does like my grandpuppy. Looks around like somebody's calling me. I don't know where they're coming from though.
Yeah,
Cutie.
that's her. She's
What a
very
cutie.
sweet. So we got her at the shelter
Oh.
about 4 years ago. And
Oh, she's very loved. I can tell.
yeah, she is. So, oh, you want to get down? Say hi.
There we go. Bye, Monroe.
Get down, yeah.
That's so cute. All right. Anything else that we need to talk about?
So that one question was about, Facebook, social media. So I get that one. Did you already cover the other question, Mary?
I just thought now that if I remember right, what started this conversation was you were asking if we could start a Facebook page for Youngevity. And I got to thinking a page can have lots of different meanings. There's group pages, there's business pages where you actually sell product on the page. And so I guess that's what kinds of pages are we allowed to have, and Marianne, I'm
So
sure
are you
that
talking
falls.
about like a Facebook page for your group that you were talking
Yeah,
about?
maybe for a group would be good.
Well,
but-
again, I think sharing, like using what they post on the Facebook Youngevity Facebook page, representing, because they are always promoting different products and what have you. Now you could take that picture, download it, and put it on your Facebook page and make your own little comment. If you got a secret group, right, versus like a private group versus an open group. Okay. And so, you can still promote that kind of stuff. In a secret group, you could probably be a little bit more, open, but you know what I mean? But I'd make sure that it goes along with what, the language that they're using to describe that particular product.
Okay.
Again, your personal, beliefs, your personal experiences are great. That's why everybody wants testimonials, right?
Right.
Because somebody's giving their own testimony about something. Their own.
I remember I was asking about that too, if there were, I guess if you're probably working with your own team, it'd be nice, people that have been using Youngevity products for a while, what do they have any testimonials on products?
Yeah. Well, it's and it's kind of funny. I was talking about that because like you go to the conventions and you see all these people and everybody looks healthy. You're like, well, and then you're like, I can walk around and go, you see that lady over there? She had MS so bad she was in a wheelchair. You see that guy over there? He had arthritis so bad that his hands were all like crippled up. You see that person over there? They've lost over 200 pounds. But, just at first view, you're like, oh, everybody looks, pretty healthy. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. There's a lot of amazing testimonials out there. And, getting somebody to share that with you is usually pretty easy. And there's testimonials all over the place because of other people talking about their experiences as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I've noticed that on the website, they don't really have that type of stuff on there. It's pretty general. So
some of our videos on Vimeo where we had healthy body challenge winners and stuff like that. Like we had a guy that had, his story was around the fact that he was on a liver transplant list, and when he went in to see his doctor after being on Youngevity, the doctor goes, well, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. What do you want first? And he goes, well, give me the bad news. He goes, well, the bad news is I have to take you off the liver transplant list. That was the bad news.
How's that the bad?
Right? He goes, because your liver is functioning again. And your counts are all up. And so, because this poor guy was dying and it took him so long to get on the list that was the bad news. But the good news is, I think you're going to be okay. So I actually was on a cruise with him and other people's testimonials from the convention where they're telling their story. And there are videos of that up in the Vimeo.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, in the Vimeo thing. So, yeah, one lady had cancer. I mean, it's just crazy.
And is that a Healthy Body Challenge channel for Vimeo?
The Vimeo is Youngevity, and then within that, the Vimeo, because Youngevity has a Vimeo page, and but within that there is like it would be you know, like the Healthy Body Champions, you know, winners or something around those lines. Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right.
right.
Anything else, Monica?
I can't think of anything else right now, but I appreciate you, coming on. I apologize for being late. So
no worries. We were just it was fine.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate your feedback and your answers.
Yeah, and anytime, and Mary can give you my number if you have any questions or you want to, are we friends on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'll suggest you do each other, and that way.
Okay, there you go.
Find each other.
Yeah, that'd be great. Right. Okay, well, thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Monica. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Okay, thank you, Marianne. Have a great day.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.